वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं नतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Today is our 100th class. वासुदेवेन्द्रयोगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुम्
वासुदेवेन्द्रयोगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुम्
मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधो विधीयते।
मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधो विधीयते।
ननु साहंकारस्य किंचिज्ञस्य जीवस्य निरहंकारस्य सर्वज्ञस्य ईश्वरस्य तत्त्वमसीति महावाक्यात् कथम् अभेदबुद्धिः स्यात्। उपयोगो विरुद्धधर्माक्रान्तत्वात् इति चेत् न स्थूल सूक्ष्म शरीर अभिमानी त्वं पदवाच्यार्थः
स्थूल सूक्ष्म शरीराभिमानी त्वं पदवाच्यार्थः
उपाधि विनिर्मुक्तं समाधिदशा संपन्नं शुद्धं चैतन्यं त्वं पदलक्ष्यार्थः
शुद्धं चैतन्यं त्वं पदलक्ष्यार्थः
एवं सर्वज्ञत्वादिविशिष्टः ईश्वरः तत्पदवाच्यार्थः
सर्वज्ञत्वादिविशिष्टः ईश्वरः तत्पदवाच्यर्थः
उपाधिशून्यं शुद्धं चैतन्यं तत्पदलक्ष्यार्थः
उपाधिशून्यं
चैतन्यं
तत्पदलक्ष्यार्थः
एवं च जीवेश्वरयोः
एवं च जीवेश्वरयोः
चैतन्यरूपेण
चैतन्यरूपेण
अभेदे बाधकाभावः
अभेदे बाधकाभावः
We have discussed elaborately more than enough on this vakyas, these lines of this text. This is called vichara, mahavakya vichara. Having introduced Jiva, Jagat, and Ishvara, presenting it as though they are distinct, and finally dismissing Jagat as Mithya, and Jiva and Ishvara, between them there is non-difference. When the Mahavakya is uttered, then the listener, the student must be able to understand. But there are pratibandhas, there are some vagueness, doubts, not clarity. Therefore, vichara, therefore only vichara to be done, elaborate discussion. That alone, in fact, the tradition gave rise to a lot of literature. All the text, Prakarana Granthas, advanced Prakarana Granthas, even Naishkarmya Siddhi, Swarajya Siddhi, and other many advanced texts are there. Siddhi Granthas, all these texts discuss only the Mahavakya, Tattvaryam of the Mahavakya. The Vivaksha of the Shruti is Jiveshwara Aikyam Avedaha. When it is understood so simply, then why do we need all those texts? And innumerable texts are there. One life is not enough to study, not required that everyone should study all the text. If you understand, it is fine. But the author of the text, they deal with so many topics, so many possible doubts which a student may have, and therefore they discuss it elaborately. Like in Panchadashi, we are going to see Panchadashi, beautiful text how Vidyanya Muni elaborates on each Vishaya, each subject matter with a lot of examples, Drishtanta. This is called analysis, this is called Vichara, and this is called Mananam also. It covers Mananam, Shravanam as well as Mananam. It is done for the purpose of making this knowledge steady, unshakable. The knowledge will be available to you only when it is unshakable. If the knowledge is a doubtful knowledge, samshaya jnanam, then it is as good as ajnanam only. Because pratibandha is in the form of doubts, in the form of vagueness. Pratibandha ragita jnanam. Jnanam which is without any pratibandha, without any obstacle, that alone is jnanam. By that alone one can enjoy the jnana phalam, as it is mentioned in the Gita, Sataprajna Lakshanam. So therefore only this discussion. Even when we discuss, sometimes when the points come repeatedly, it is not a dosha, it is not a defect. Why? Because Vedanta is punah punaha shravanam kuryat. Sannyasi is supposed to listen to the Shastra always. That is why sannyasa is. Sannyasya shravanam kuryat. Iti vakyam is. So, what they will do otherwise? After sannyasa, no karma, no family, no bondage. So, they spend their whole time in studying the Shastram, analyzing the Shastram, discussing the Shastram. So, therefore, sannyasya shravanam kuryat, exclusive pursuit. Moksha is the only pursuit, exclusive lifestyle for this pursuit of jnanam, and therefore shravanam, mananam, iti. Therefore, only we also discuss whenever we get a chance, we dwell on the topic for a length of time. Now, in all this, from all this discussion, we understand Jiveshwara Yogo, Vedaha Astiva Nastiva, Abhedaha Eva. Jiveshwara Yogo, Abhedaha, Badaka Abhavaha, Abheda, Abhede Badaka Abhavaha. Jiveshwara Yogo, Abhedaha, there is non-difference. No difference between Jiva and Ishvara. Chaitanya Rupena Abhedaha. There is no difference between Jiva and Ishvara, both being Chaitanya. In fact, we cannot use even both. There are no two. That is why we said non-duality. Advaitam. That nanch we add. Nanch tat purusha samasa. Advaitam. Nadvaitam. Advaitam. Because we think Jiva is distinct from Ishvara, and there are other views, perspectives with regard to Jiva and Ishvara, the Veda, Visishta, Dvaitam, Dvaitam. So, therefore, we have to say Advaitam, Abhedaha, Abhedaha. The Mahavakyam Tat Tvamasi, Tvam Lakshyartha is Chaitanyam, Tat Lakshyartha is also Chaitanyam. So, where is Jiva and Ishvara? Therefore, Abhedaha eva, Aikyam, oneness between Jiva and Ishvara. So, when you understand the Mahavakyam by Vichara, there is no possibility of negating. There is no possibility of negating what? You cannot avoid but negate the difference. You have to Badaka Bhavaha, absence of negation. Absence of negation of the what? The I. Absence of the negation of the Aikyam. You cannot but dismiss the difference. You cannot but accept the non-difference. That is the meaning. Badaka Abhavaha. What does Badaka Abhavaha mean? Abhavaha means absence. Badaka is negation. Absence of what? Absence of negation. Negation of what? Absence of negation of this Aikyam, Abheda, non-difference. Absence of the negation of non-difference. It means what? It means the difference as what we think, what we perceive or what we conclude. The conclusion is not correct. The difference is between Ishvara and Jiva. It's a conclusion. It is a conclusion, wrong conclusion. The conclusion is a wrong conclusion. And therefore that conclusion cannot be proved. It is misconclusion. Missing the fact, missing the oneness, misconcluded. So therefore we say it is Badaka Abhavaha. The difference is Abheda between Jiva and Ishvara. Chaitanya Rupena, from the standpoint of Chaitanya, with regard to Chaitanya, this Abhedaha eva, non-difference alone, Veda cannot be proved and Abheda cannot be dismissed. That is what it means. From the standpoint of Chaitanya, there is oneness between Jiva and Ishvara. It means there is no Jiva and Ishvara. What is there is only Chaitanya. That is Badaka Bhavaha, absence of any factor that can negate the identity between Jiva and Ishvara. The last class I told, remember, Badaka is that which negates. We saw the Drishtanta. When you mistake a rope for a snake, in the wake of rope knowledge, Rajujnanam, Sarpa is negated. So Rajujnanam is Badaka, that negator. In the wake of knowledge, rope knowledge, Sarpajnanam goes away. Sarpajnanam is Badita. So Badaka Badita, Sambandha between Raju and Raju meaning rope, Raju meaning Sarp and Sarpa. Raju Sarpa is Badaka Badita Sambandha. And also we saw some other example where even though it is Badaka, Badita is there, but sometimes in spite of that you don't see the going away of that, like this sky example, blue sky, etc. we saw. Why these different drishtantas are given? Because you may think because the sky is colorless, but it appears blue. So from the Rajju example, we may conclude that always it is Badita, like the snake is Badita in the wake of Rajju Jnanam. Similarly, the blue sky also should be Badita. We may think, no, it need not be. That need not be. Always that which is Badita, which is negated, can continue to appear to be what it was before. But that knowledge is there in your buddhi, in your cognition. That is what is important. The difference is not outside. The difference is in your buddhi. The difference is in your buddhi. Differences, you cannot make everything, you cannot dismiss the differences. You need not and make everything one in the outside world, in the Jagat. They all appear to be different. That is how it would be. Even when you have Advaita Jnanam, Advaita means non-difference, oneness, doesn't mean the whole Jagat will become one. You will have, if it becomes one, then you will have no objects of perception. Everything will become one. Need not be. Cannot be also. That is why the Drishtanta also is given. As in the Drishtanta, the blue sky, we have the knowledge sky is colorless. That knowledge, Badaka Jnanam, negates our Ajnanam. That sky is blue, we think that is Ajnanam, that is negated. Even though the blueness of the sky is negated, Badita, in spite of that, sky continue to appear blue only. It is not, it doesn't become colorless. It doesn't become colorless, continues to be as it was before. Similarly, the Jagat also, when you understand the fact there is Aikyam, non-difference between Jiva and Ishvara, the Jagat will not become, the Jagat will not disappear for Jnani as well as for Ajnani. As it is, as the Jagat appears for an Ajnani, so too the Jagat will appear for Jnani also. As it appears for Ajnani, so too for Jnani also. But you can see the differences in their transaction with the Jagat. That is the manifestation of the jnana. How jnani interacts with the jagat, how ajnani interacts with the jagat. There is clear difference. For ajnani, the jagat is real. Therefore, he experiences sukha dukkham, all the pairs of opposites, dvandva, anubhava. Whereas jnani, for his this jagat is mithya. Therefore only is not carried over by sukha nor by dukkha. Dukkeshu anudviktamanaha sukeshu vikatasprugaha vitaraha bhayakrodaha iti Tattvabodha Lakshanam Bhagavan Krishna beautifully says. So, in the transaction with the Jagat, you can see how Jnani deals with the Jagat. So, therefore, the Jagat will not undergo change. It remains as it is. It remains as it is. But your perception, your buddhi, your knowledge, in your buddhi, the knowledge is there. Therefore, your interaction, your vyavahara with the Jagat changes. Because Jagat is not there, it is mithya. Therefore, taking the upadhi bheda to be different, taking the different upadhi bheda, considering it to be real, and ajnani interacts with Jagat. For ajnani, this upadhi is mithya. The blueness of the sky is upadhi. Sky is blue. That is upadhi. And upadhi is mithya. Upadhi is mithya. And jnani knows that's mithya. He has got this jnanam that it is mithya. Therefore, even though he sees the sky as blue, but cognitively he knows, he dismisses the blueness in his buddhi. All the wrong conclusions are gone in the wake of the jnanam. So, therefore only it's a jnani. So, therefore, Jiveshwara being Shuddha Chaitanyam, that is Padaka Abhavaha. There is absence of negation, absence of any conclusion which can negate the aikyam of Jiveshwara. The difference between Jiva and Ishvara due to Upadhi. Upadhi is mithya. Upadhi is mithya and Upadhi Bheda is mithya. For an Ajnani, Upadhi is for an Ajnani. Ajnani Upadhi is Satyam, Upadhi Bheda is Satyam. Therefore, Bheda Buddhi. For Ajnani, Upadhi is mithya, Upadhi Bheda is also mithya. Therefore, Aikyam, Aikya Jnanam, yes. Having listened to this many times, still, when the Vyavahara, when we interact with the Jagat in the Vyavahara, we may have this Samshaya. Samshaya may be there at the corner of the mind. Always it will be lingering. That is why it has to be listened to again and again. You have to bring in this knowledge. Bring in this knowledge and dismiss the wrong conclusion. Keep on bringing in this knowledge. That's why we say one has to lead a alert life. Whenever you are overpowered by this mithya jagat, then you have to bring in this knowledge and nullify, dismiss that mithya. That is why nididhyasam, etc. are suggested. All the sadhanas are suggested. There was one Maharaja. He was a great supporter of this Brahma Vidya. In his palace, he used to support all the religious scholars. He supported all the religious scholars. Whether it is Dvaita or Advaita, Visishtadvaita or any other schools of philosophy, he supports them. Once he appointed one person to teach him daily Vedanta. The teacher was a master in Vedanta, great teacher of Vedanta. He taught the Maharaja Vedanta and explained the Mahavakyam as we saw. Tat tvam asi. Atma tat tvam asi. He said, you are Atma, Brahma. Tat Brahma tvam asi. Atma tat tvam asi iti. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Everything else is Mithya. Iti he was teaching. So he was listening to Vedanta, the Advaita Vedanta teacher. At the same time, there was another teacher, the Dvaita teacher, Dvaita Acharya, another Acharya, Dvaita Acharya, who also regularly comes to his palace and giving classes. He also explained the same Mahavakya. Atma atat tum asi. Atma atat tum asi. You have to see, if you know a little Sanskritam, Sandhi, you will understand how the word Atma tum asi. Atma, the Advaita teacher taught Atma tat tvam asi. This is the teaching of Advaita teacher. Dvaita teacher taught Atma atat tvam asi. Here, Atma plus Atma A plus A. Savarna Dirgha Sandhi will happen, and therefore you will have Atma tat tvam asi. Here also it is Atma tat tvam asi. When you read the sentence, Atma tat tvam asi. The Atma tat tvam asi can be split into Atma atat tvam asi. The language is like that. It permits such splitting also. Such splitting also the language permits. Atma atat tvam asi. Atma tat tvam asi is Advaita teacher. Atma atat tvam asi is Dvaita teacher. Both are Atma tat tvam asi when you read. But here, the Dvaita teacher, he interprets the Mahavakya Atma atat. But when you read it, Atma atat, why? Because Sandhi happened between the two words. Savarna Dirgha Sandhi, we know. Therefore, the language yields such interpretations also. That is why Gita, even though Gita being what it is interpreted by both by the Dvaita Acharya, Advaita, as well as Advaita Acharya. Nasato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha. There also, Nasato vidyate bhavaha, that na asataha vidyate, na asataha, nasato vidyate, nasato avidyate iti. There also, taking that to be a Purva Rupa Sandhi, interpret the shloka in a different way by Dvaita teacher. We take the shloka to be Nasato vidyate bhavaha. Na asataha bhavaha vidyate. What the Dvaita teacher will do? Nasato avidyate iti. There Purva Rupa Sandhi. One avagraha if you add over, you can interpret the shloka with the Dvaita perspective. The language yields such possibilities. That is why Gita is interpreted both by the Dvaita Acharya as well as Advaita Acharya. Ramanujacharya had written commentary. Shankara Bhagavatpada also had written commentary. Visishta Advaiti Ramanujacharya. Dvaitin also had written commentary. So, In the language, there is possibility, but when you, therefore only we have to do a vichara analysis. But the reality is not. Therefore, only vichara is required. This Advaita Acharya, having understood the Tattvaryam, he said Atma Tat Tvamasi. There he didn't take it a Dirgha Sandhi. Whereas this Dvaita Acharya, he interpreted the same Mahavakya, taking that to be Savana Dirgha Sandhi, Atma Atat Tvamasi. Now, the listener is Raja. Listen to both the persons. This is a problem. You cannot listen, you should not listen to both the teaching the same time. Then you will get confused, and also one should stick to one teacher because the presentation, the approach, the unfoldment differs. And this person listening to two people at the same time, having totally different perspective, different mata, different darshanam. And this Raja, good person, he wanted to be impartial to all the teachers. Therefore, when the Dvaita teacher teaches, you are not that, you are Jiva, you can never be Ishvara, that also he accepts. When the Advaita teacher teaches, you are Jiva, you cannot be away from Ishvara, that also he would listen to both of them. Since Advaita teacher teaches, you are Ananda Swarupa, you are limitless, you are full, you are complete, you are the whole Purnam. It was nice to hear because the Shastra praises you. And so therefore Maharaja was more alive to the Advaita teaching because it praises. When Dvaita teacher teaches, he teaches, you have a lot of papas. Therefore, you need Bhagavan's grace. Anugraha is important. Without Ishwar Anugraha, you won't be able to Vaikunta. Going to Vaikunta is moksha. Going to Vaikunta alone is moksha. You cannot do anything here. Nothing will happen here. So, therefore, you need to have bhakti, that Navavida bhakti, 9 types of devotion. Therefore, you should remove all the papas by being devoted to Bhagavan. So when this Dvaita teacher teaches, Maharaja will go to sleep. He was more alive to Advaita teaching. And when the Dvaita teacher teaches, he goes to sleep. There was another person who also used to attend the classes along with this Maharaja. And that person, he comes to this Advaita, he comes to this Dvaita Acharya and tells him that Raja listens to the Advaita teacher better than you. Raja listens to the teaching of Advaita better than the teaching of Dvaita. He is more alive to Advaita Acharya class than this class. This Dvaita Acharya listening to this was more upset. So, therefore, this went on for some time. Therefore, one day what happened was, when this Raja was about to go to another part of the kingdom, and he had to pass through a forest with all his retinue. And both the teacher also were with the Raja. And there was a wild elephant chasing them. They spotted a elephant, and the elephant looked different from the regular elephant because it was a forest elephant, a wild elephant, and it was approaching them widely. And this Advaita Acharya alone spotted the elephant. First, he spotted the elephant and he told, there is elephant. and he started running. When he ran, everybody started running. Raja also started running, and he also running. He came back to the camp. And the next day, this Dvaita teacher went to the Raja and told, Maharaji, did you see what happened yesterday? Did you see the elephant? Yes, that was a wild elephant. No, did you see who was the first person to run? Was it not our Advaita Acharya? Raja did not understand the implication of the sentence, the Vakya, what the Dvaita teacher told. He told he was the first person to run. This Advaita Acharya was the first person to run. He saw the Mithya elephant and ran like hell. Why should he run? The elephant is Mithya. He says everything is Mithya, and when he spotted the wild elephant, he was the first person to run. Runs for Mithya elephant. Then Raja became wild now. Why? Because this Advaita Acharya he has been telling Raja every day, everything is Mithya, everything is Mithya. And now, when he saw the elephant, he was the first person to run. So he called the teacher. The teacher came. The Raja asked, did you see the elephant first? Yes. And was you the first person to run? Yes. Did you say that elephant is Mithya? Yes. Then why did you run? Then he told, Maharaja, that was a wild elephant. That is why I have to run. Otherwise, it will get you. Therefore, I ran. But it is only a Mithya elephant. Why did you run? Did I say, then this Advaita Acharya told, did I say my running is Satyam? Elephant is Mithya. I saw the Mithya elephant. I ran. My running is also Mithya only. How can I run? Atma is Akanda. Atma is Purnaha. It never runs. Therefore, all running is also within Atma only. I never ran. Atma can never run. I ran as though for an as though elephant. My running is also as though. The elephant is also as though. So as though, Danikidini Saipoindi. So when somebody argues like that, this is how we have to counter. My running is also Mithya. Everything is Mithya. Then why you get angry? Why you get upset? Why you get dejected? That is also Mithya. That is also Mithya alone. This is how the Dvaitis attack. In your Vyavahara, you act like us. If everything is Mithya, then why do you behave? Why do you have such Vyavahara interaction with the world? That is also Mithya. Mithya doesn't mean that the interaction would stop with the Jagat. Interaction would continue as it was before. When Jnanam happens, it is not that all the Vyavahara with the Jagat will stop. Jnani will stop eating, Jnani will stop seeing, Jnani will stop walking. He will not become a log, just like a log sitting in one place. No. His Vyavahara will be there. Therefore, you cannot judge a Jnani by his activities. You cannot judge your activities. For him, it is Mithya alone. Therefore, Mithya, what is Mithya to be understood? As though. The word is as though. The elephant is as though. My running is as though. Your hunger is as though. And food is also as though. Your dukkham is as though. Your crying is as though. Your sukham is as though. And your ananda experience as though. Everything is as though. Your anger is also as though. For a jnani, everything is as though. That is why jnani, even if he gets angry, the next moment it goes away. It doesn't have that feeling of anger. It doesn't carry it forward. It goes away. So it is as though all the way. Eva, the word is important. The word is Iva. Iva means as though. So if you understand Iva, then Mithya is understood. Everything is Iva. Iva, Iva only. Iva means what? Iva is the word which is it's an abhyaya, which means as though. So Mithya. Mithya is as though. In the Bhagavad Gita, in the Upodghata Bhashyam, Shankara Bhagavad he beautifully says that when the adharma increased, when the dharma declines, that time Bhagavan Krishna he came down, the avatar, he took as an avatara, he came down. Who came? Ishvaraha. Ishvaraha Jataha Iva. He says, Jataha Iva, as though Ishvara, Bhagavan, Jataha Iva, as though he was born. His birth also is Mithya. He says, Bhagavan Krishna, Vasudevasya Putra Iva, Jataha Iva. So, because people may doubt, he is an avatara, how can he behave like is Ishvara, how can he behave like a human being? How can he behave like a human being? How can he walk? How can he talk? How can he do vyavahara like us? He is Bhagavan. Therefore, Bhashakara, in there he says, Jataha Iva Tacha Bhagavan Jnaneshwarya Shakti Bala Virya Tejo Bihi Sada Sampannaha. Talking about Bhagavan. Trigunatmikam Vaishnavim Swam Maya Moola Prakritim Vashikritya Ajaha Avyayaha Bhutanam Ishvaraha Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhavaha Apisan Swamayaya by its own Maya. Degavan Iva Jata Ivacha Lokanugraham Kurvan Iva Lakshate. Iva. All the way it is Iva. Degavan Iva, as though having a body. Therefore, Jataha Ivacha, as though born. And therefore, Lokanugraham Kurvan Iva Lakshate. By taking the body, he Loka Anugraham, he blessed the world as though that is Mithya. Everything is Mithya, Badaka, Abhavaha. Therefore, Badaka, Abhavaha. Abeda is Badaka, Abhava. Abeda is Badaka, Mithya, Mithyatvat. Therefore, Abeda, where Abeda, that vision is in the Buddhi. Mithya being what it is Abeda. So, Abeda, Advaita is the last word. Therefore, there is no Badaka, there are no negations. There's nothing that can stop this Abeda, Advaita. Therefore, one can advance no argument to prove that there is no non-difference. The Jnanam gained by the Mahavakyam, it remains unnegated by anything. There can be error or doubt with regard to knowledge revealed by this Mahavakya, Tattvabodha, but errors can be rectified, doubts can be clarified, doubts can be cleared. Because the Aikyam is the fact, all the errors, all the doubts can be removed. It should be removed. Like this Rajju Jnanam, how it happened. Snake Jnanam, when the snake knowledge goes away, that is Ajnanam, when it goes away. Rajju Jnanam, on the rise of rope knowledge, snake knowledge goes away. Snake was Badita, where cognitively, it was not there before. You saw it was, therefore it was Badita, where literally you cannot chase away the snake because it is not there. Therefore it was Badita cognitively. Cognitively it was negated and rope is ascertained. Ayam Rajjuhu na sarpaha. This is the knowledge. This knowledge only removes the fear of snake. So, therefore, only knowledge removes Ajnanam. Aham Brahma, that is the fact, unshakable fact. You cannot improve on this fact. There is only that there is only one thing, this thing which cannot be improved. That is Brahma. I am Agam Brahma. That cannot be improved, that cannot be modified, that cannot be negated. What cannot be negated is this Satyam Brahma. Therefore, Bhadaka, Abhavaha, that Brahma is myself, that is Jnanam. With this, the Upadesha is over. This is the topic of the book. An author has presented so far very systematically, very cogently has presented. So with this Jiveshwara Aikyam, that is a Jnanam, that is the Tatparyam of the Shastra. Over, teaching is over. Then, after that, what? After that, the author of this text says, Shankaracharya, he says, he presents the palam of this Jnanam, Jnana palam. What is the benefit? What is the benefit of this knowledge? What is the benefit? You have Advaita Jnanam. Everybody asks, what is the benefit? Anything you do without expecting a benefit, without expecting a result, nobody will do. Without expecting a result, nobody will do any karma. This is also to be understood. We often misinterpret the teaching of Gita. Karmanya vadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana. This line is misinterpreted as do your karma action, don't expect the result. No, Bhagavan Krishna never said that. Never said that. You cannot have choice over the results of the action. That is what he says. He doesn't say you don't expect the result. Nobody can do any action without expecting the result. Result, expectation of the result will be there. But do you have choice over that? Can you modify the result for what you have done? You are not the author. Karma, kriya being done. And the result will come. That is taken care by so many factors. So many factors are there. You don't have control over those factors. Bhagavan only decides. His anugraha, his grace alone will make the karma, will make the palam of a certain karma manifest at a certain time. And when the palam comes to you at the right time, at the right place, we call it as Ishvara Anugraha, grace of Bhagavan. That grace also you earned it by your action. Therefore, for every karma, palam is there and palam is expected by everybody. That is the teaching. So similarly, here also, having taught this jnanam, palam will be there or not? Of course, palam must be there. Jnana palam. Without expecting that, nobody will study Shastram also. What is the palam? What is the benefit of this jnanam? That is what the next line is. Let us read that next line. Evam cha Vedanta Vakyaihi Sadguru Upadeshena
Sadguru
Upadeshena cha Sarveshu api bhuteshu
Sarveshu api bhuteshu
Yesham
yesham
Brahma Buddhirutpanna
Brahma buddhirutpanna
Brahma Buddhi Utpannaha. I think Brahma Buddhi Utpanna. Yesham Brahma Buddhi Utpannaha. It must be Utpannaha.
Brahma buddhi utpannaha
Te Jivan Muktaha Bhavanti.
te jivan muktaha bhavanti.
Evam cha Vedanta Vakyaihi Sadguru Upadeshena cha Sarveshu Bhuteshu Yesham Brahma Buddhi Utpannaha Te Jivan Muktaha. They become Jivan Muktaha. That is a palam. Jnana palam. Jivan Muktaha Bhavanti. Te Jivan Muktaha Bhavanti. Ke, who, those in whom the knowledge takes place, they become Jivan Muktaha. They become Jivan Muktaha. Those in whom this Jnanam, this Advaita Jnanam take place, they become Jivan Muktaha. How? Through the knowledge gained by the Vakyas of the Veda as revealed by a Sadguru, they become Jivan Muktaha. Important. One cannot study Shastram oneself, by oneself. Or one should not study Shastram from a person who doesn't have a Guru, who doesn't come under Sampradaya. Asampradaya with Murkhavat Upekshaniyaha. Neither by oneself nor from a person who doesn't come under Sampradaya. Therefore, only he says here, the knowledge gained by the Vakya, Vedanta Vakya, as revealed by the Guru who comes under the Sampradaya, they become Jivan Muktaha iti. Therefore, Guru is important. Therefore, only Guru Bhakti, we talk about Guru Bhakti. Why? From whom you get Jnana. Therefore, only Bhakti is. Matra Bhaktya Ihalokam, Pitra Bhaktya to Madhyamam, Guru Bhaktya Paran Lokan, Jayatyevana Samshayaha. That's a shloka. Matra Bhaktya Ihalokam. This shloka. Matra Bhaktya Ihalokam Jayati. By devotion to mother, you get whatever you want in this loka. Pitra Bhaktya, Madhyamam, Antariksha Lokam. That is Paralokan. Pitra Bhaktya, Paralokan, Jayati. Guru Bhaktya, Paran Lokan. Guru Bhaktya, Paran Lokan. Brahmadi Paran Lokan. Jayati. Guru Bhaktya. Pitra Bhaktya, Madhyamam is Antariksha Loka. Loka in the middle. Whereas Guru Bhakti, by which we gain the Paran Lokan also. Jayati na samshayaha iti. What is Paran Lokan? Moksha. Other than Moksha, what is Paran Lokan? Not going to Vaikuntha or Kailasha. It is this knowledge alone makes oneself free. This Jivan Mukta is what the gained by Guru Bhakti. This is what is Guru Bhakti. Guru Bhakti is not literally worshipping the Guru. Understanding the teaching of the Guru. And the teaching of the Guru is not different from the teaching of the Shastram. Therefore, Sadguru Upadeshena. Both are mentioned. Vedanta Vakyehi Sadguru Upadeshena. That is what is called Shraddha. Guru Vakyeshu, Vedanteshu, Guru Vakyeshu, Vishwasara Shraddha. Always they go together. Vedanta Vakya, Vedanta and Guru, they always go together. Where Vedanta Vakya is there, we can understand Guru. Because it has come from the mouth of the Guru. So where Guru is there we can understand Shastram is. Therefore, they go together. Listening from them, they become Jivan Muktaha. Iti. Sarvabhuteshu, with reference to all beings. Sarvabhuteshu, Saptami, Vishaya Saptami, with reference to all beings. Evam, in this manner, Yesham Brahma Buddhi Utpanna. So, Yesham Brahma Buddhi Utpanna. Utpanna only, it is not Visarga. Sorry. Brahma Buddhi Utpanna. I didn't see that properly. Brahma Buddhi is Trilinga. Yesham, for those, Brahma Buddhi is Utpanna, is born. So Buddhi Utpanna only, not Buddhi, not Visarga. Samyatam, it's I said it by mistake. Utpannaha, because te Jivan Muktaha is, I thought ye te. No. In Yesham here, Yesham, you can change that ye, that's why the problem is. Ye to be changed to Yesham. You can change that into Yattat Sambandha. Please see, there's a typo. You can change that Yesham, which is there, into, you can change that into Yesham. Then it would be right. Always this Yat Tad, they go together. Yaha Saha, Yaha Ramaha, Saha Mama Putra, we saw like that in Sanskrit class. So Yat Tad. So therefore Yesham, Brahma Buddhi Utpanna, te Jivan Muktaha. Then it would be correct. So please understand that to be Yesham, that Yakara, not Ye, not vowel. Yesham Brahma Buddhi Utpanna, te Jivan Muktaha Bhavanti. Then it would be correct. Utpanna is Strilinga only. Buddhi is therefore Strilinga. In this manner, for whom or in whom this Brahma Buddhi is born, the knowledge of Brahma is born. Buddhi means the knowledge. Buddhi means knowledge. Buddhi means intellect, but here Brahma Buddhi is Jnanam of Brahma. Buddhi, we can take it as knowledge. Knowledge of Brahma is born. Brahmanaha Buddhihi Brahma Buddhihi. The knowledge of Brahma is born in whom? Agam Brahma eva iti eva Buddhihi. Iti evam Buddhihi Utpanna Esha. The knowledge that I am Brahma, this Buddhi, this knowledge, is born in whom? They are Brahma Buddhi Utpannaha. Te Jivan Muktaha Bhavanti. The one in whom this knowledge, Agam Brahma eva iti, evam Buddhihi Utpanna, Jagat Karanam Brahma Agam Asmi iti, Yesham Utpanna, this knowledge which is born in whom, they become liberated. Jivan Muktaha. That is Brahma alone, with reference to all beings, this knowledge. With reference to all bodies and minds of all beings, what is there is only one Atma. Therefore, Tattvabodha, Sarveshu Bhuteshu. This Atma is Brahma, that is Satyam. Everything else is Mithya. In fact, there is no everything. There is no other thing than Brahma. Everything being Brahma, how can there be anything other than Brahma? Other things are, it's Mithya. Eva, all are Eva only. They don't exist apart from Brahma. Agam Brahma. Anything other than me, which exists in the form of Nama Rupatmaka Jagat, that is also Brahma. Since both being Brahma, myself being Brahma, Ishvara being Brahma, therefore there is oneness, Aikyam. This Aikyam cannot be produced by any karma, only by Jnanam. This is a fact to be gained by knowledge. Therefore only Buddhi, the word is there, Buddhi, Brahma Buddhi. Sarvam Brahma iti Buddhi, Brahma Buddhi. That includes me also, Aham also. So, therefore, this Buddhi Utpanna te Jivan Muktaha Bhavanti. Jivan eva Muktaha Bhavanti. While living, they become free. They don't become free after this. While living itself, they become free. How did they get Jivan? How did Jivan Muktas get this knowledge? Vedanta Vakyagi. Before that, before Jnanam happens, they are Ajnani. And after Vedanta, listening to the Vedanta Vakya, as it is interpreted by Sadguru Upadeshena, with the help of Vedanta Vakya, the Upadeshas of the Guru, Vedanta Vakyaihi Sadguru Upadeshena cha, Yesham Brahma Buddhi Utpanna, as a result of listening, analyzing the Vedanta Vakya, a person gets Brahma Buddhi and becomes free. Jivan eva Muktaha Bhavati. While living, he becomes free. Iti, yeah, Palam is said. We'll continue further. Jivan Muktaha, Jivan Muktihi, the topic continues. We will see that in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवादः गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी. धन्यवाद. धन्यवाद गुरुजी.